Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Agriculture, Volume 3, Book 39, number 513 to 540. Volume 3, Book 39, number 513. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. Allah's Apostle said, "There is none amongst the Muslims who plants a tree or sows seeds, and then a bird, or a person or an animal eats from it, but is regarded as a charitable gift for him." Volume 3, Book 39, number 514. Narrated by Abu Umama al-Bahili. I saw some agricultural equipments and said, I heard the Prophet saying, "There is no house in which these equipment enters, except that Allah will cause humiliation to enter it." Volume 3, Book 39, number 515. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "Whoever keeps a dog, 1 qirat of the reward of his good deeds is deducted daily, unless the dog is used for guarding a farm or cattle." Abu Hurairah, in another narration, said from the Prophet, "Unless it is used for guarding sheep or farms, or for hunting." Narrated Abu Hazim from Abu Hurairah, the Prophet said, "A dog for guarding cattle or for hunting." Volume 3, Book 39, number 516. Narrated by As-Sa'id bin Yazid. Abu Sufyan bin Abu Zuhair, a man from Az-Shanua and one of the companions of the Prophet said, I heard Allah's Apostle saying, "If one keeps a dog which is meant for guarding neither a farm nor cattle, 1 qirat of the reward of his good deeds is deducted daily." I said, "Did you hear this from Allah's Apostle?" He said, "Yes, by the Lord of this mosque." Volume 3, Book 39, number 517. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, while a man was riding a cow, it turned towards him and said, "I have not been created for this purpose, i.e. carrying, I have been created for sloughing." The Prophet added, "I, Abu Bakr and Umar believe in the story." The Prophet went on, "A wolf caught a sheep, and when the shepherd chased it, the wolf said, 'Who will be its guard on the day of wild beasts, when there will be no shepherd for it except me?' After narrating it, the Prophet said, I, Abu Bakr and Umar too believe it." Abu Salama, a sub-narrator, said, "Abu Bakr and Umar were not present then. It has been written that a wolf also spoke to one of the companions of the Prophet near Medina as narrated in Fatah al-Bari." Narrated Unay bin Amra, Aban bin Aus said, "I was amongst my sheep. Suddenly a wolf caught a sheep and I shouted at it. The wolf sat on its tail and addressed me, saying, 'Who will look after it, i.e. the sheep, when you will be busy and not able to look after it? Do you forbid me the provision which Allah has provided me?' Aban added, I clapped my hands and said, 'By Allah, I have never seen anything more curious and wonderful than this.' On that the wolf said, 'There is something more curious and wonderful than this. That is, Allah's Apostle in those palm trees, inviting people to Allah, i.e. Islam." Unay bin Amra further said, "Then Aban went to Allah's Apostle and informed him what happened and embraced Islam. Palm trees or other trees and share the fruits with me." Volume 3, Book 39, number 518. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The answer said to the Prophet, "Distribute the date palm trees between us and our emigrant brothers." He replied, "No." The answer said, to the emigrants, "Look after the trees, water and watch them, and share the fruits with us." The emigrants said, "We listen and obey." Volume 3, Book 39, number 519. Narrated by Abdullah. The Prophet got the date palm trees of the tribe of Bani and Nadir burnt and the trees cut down at a place called Al-Bawira. Hassan bin Thabit said in a poetic verse, "The chiefs of Bani Lu'ay found it easy to watch fire spreading at Al-Bawira. Volume 3, Book 39, number 520. Narrated by Rafi bin Khadij. We worked on farms more than anybody else in Medina. We used to rent the land at the yield of specific delimited portion of it to be given to the landlord. Sometimes the vegetation of that portion was affected by blights etc., while the rest remained safe and vice versa, so the Prophet forbade this practice. At that time gold or silver were not used for renting the land. If they provided the seeds, they would get so and so much. Al-Hasan said, "There is no harm if the land belongs to one but both spend on it and the yield is divided between them." Az-Zuhri had the same opinion. Al-Hasan said, "There is no harm if cotton is picked on the condition of having half the yield." Ibrahim, Ibn Siyan, Ata, Al-Hakam, Az-Zuhri and Qatada said, "There is no harm in giving the yarn to the weaver to weave into cloth on the basis that 1/3 or 1/4, or any other portion, of the cloth is given to the weaver for his labor." Imam said, "There is no harm in hiring animals for a definite, fixed, period on the basis that 1/3 or 1/4 of the products carried by the animals is given to the owner of the animals." Volume 3, Book 39, number 521. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. The Prophet concluded a contract with the people of Khaybar to utilize the land on the condition that half the products of fruits or vegetation would be their share. The Prophet used to give his wives 100 wasqs each, 80 wasqs of dates and 20 wasqs of barley. When Umar became the caliph, he gave the wives of the Prophet the option of either having the land and water as their shares, or carrying on the previous practice. Some of them chose the land and some chose the wasqs, and Aisha chose the land. Volume 3, Book 39, number 522. Narrated by Ibn Umar. The Prophet made a deal with the people of Khaybar that they would have half the fruits and vegetation of the land they cultivated.